One of the things that I'm specializing in is our anomaly detection for our distributed intelligence. Well, let's talk about first what a good grid is, and that way you can talk about what an anomaly is. So you can see on a slide up here that we actually have waveforms, 60 hertz waveform, that occurs throughout the day constantly over and over again. An anomaly is where that waveform has been disrupted by some event. And you can see on the slide over here, you can see little notches and little spikes. That's where the grid voltage has been interrupted because of some problem that's on the grid. And that's called an anomaly, a deviation from the norm. First of all, you have to understand why the grid is so stable and how we can detect anomalies. The grid is so stable because the very large turbines and generators that are bigger than a 747 engine plane and weigh twice as much, over 800 tons, are behind the stability of the grid. So that keeps the waveforms absolutely stable, except when we have something like a storm, lightning, a squirrel, a bird, a car hitting a pole. Those cause anomalies in the waveform, and that's what we're trying to detect. So when do they occur? Well, when does a squirrel eat, or when does a car hit a pole? Any time of the day, night, weekends, you never know. It's almost completely random, and so you have to be on guard 24 hours a day, 24/7. Anomalies can occur locally, regionally, or actually across the entire grid. It depends on the type of anomaly. Weather events can be much broader than a squirrel, which would be local in your backyard. How is an anomaly detected? Well, I have to get into math just a little bit. So let me kind of remind you of your school days. Teachers grading on a curve. So there was a curve for the class, and you were looking to get a C if you were right at the top of that curve. You didn't want to be to the left because that's a D or an F or a or a B. So think of that analogy, but now think of the waveform in the grid. So we can apply math algorithms, specifically what's called a crest factor, the ratio of the peak to the average. Skew, which is, are there more Ds and Fs versus As and Bs? And then kurtosis is the very bottom of that curve, and that's how many people got F minuses or A pluses. And so we use those three math algorithms, skew, crest, and kurtosis, to categorize the shape of the voltage waveform, because any major anomaly will distort it slightly, and we can detect that moving along in time. Well, it's very important to detect anomalies, especially today, because some of those anomalies can cause wildfires, as we've seen. So therefore, animals, squirrels, birds, snakes, when they fall off the wire, they potentially fall into the underbrush, and that's what creates the wildfires. So it's extremely important for utilities to identify when and where they occur and potentially get out there to mitigate the consequences of the problem in the local area. So what Itron has done in the latest meters is we've enabled the waveform capture, the ability to capture that waveform in real time, 32,000 times per second. So this is actually an example of a utilities grid. We're constantly capturing and watching our measurements of that shape change over time. Because there's some natural changes. It's not always solid, but if we can figure out how much it's allowed to change, we can then detect anything that's outside of that band. So Itron has enabled the meters to record utility grids, this is a Midwestern grid, and determine what's normal and what's abnormal in the grid. As an example, what happened last year, I personally was at Marco Island, and we were running some of our waveform capture just to demo at a show, and along came Hurricane Ian. We were running our crest factor algorithm at the hotel. Hurricane Ian was just coming into the Gulf region and affecting about 100 miles away, but it had such an impact on the Florida Power and Light grid that we detected anomalies in the waveform 100 miles away in the grid. And so this is an example of real-world capturing of events and showing the utility. Now, they already knew they had a problem. So in this case, it wasn't important that we rush out because they already knew they had a problem, but it showed how sensitive we are and the ability to capture miles away events that occur on the grid. So what sets Itron apart? Number one, the waveform capture, so the ability to capture these waveforms, but more importantly, distributed intelligence, the ability to download a custom program, your own math algorithm to look at things in real time, turning a meter literally into a sentry 24 hours a day watching the grid. In addition, we now have a new product called the DI NIC that can be placed in other devices besides just meters to be able to bring the revolution of DI to the rest of the grid.